the meeting, and then we'll go ahead and start. So my name is Jake Hunt, and I'm the principal here at Lincoln Academy. We want to welcome you as new families to Lincoln Academy. We have about 35 new families joining us here this year at Lincoln Academy. Tonight we're going to spend about 20 minutes in here talking about an overview of the school to try and help you feel comfortable. And then myself, as well as administration, will be here to answer any questions. We have a couple of board members, as well as we have student council members over here. Student council members, you can wave. At the end, we have some student council members who will, we have some parent volunteers who will match you up with a student council member to help you around the school become familiar with your classroom, as well as and if you need to find a locker, or if you need to learn how to open your locker, those sorts of things. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable that way. So, to start, let's just talk about the building in general. It's pretty obvious there's still a little bit of construction going on, which is supposed to be done in about the middle of October. When we started our construction process, we submitted our paperwork on time, and we thought we were going to be able to start on time, and then our friend, the state fire marshal, took about 6 to 7 weeks to turn around our paperwork for us, and so we couldn't start. So we'll get it done as fast as we can. The good news is all of those classrooms that we are building were to make it so that we had extra room for specialty classes in elementary to happen, as well as a little bit more flexibility in the junior high. So everything that we planned on being able to offer, we're able to offer with our current configuration. We do have a kindergarten class that will be in the library in the mornings, which is the only thing that's a little bit different that way. But as you can see, the area on the top of the screen is the elementary gym, elementary. Elementary gym's in the middle. On the right-hand side is the upper grades. We have 4th, 5th, and 6th grade on the right-hand hall. On the left-hand hall are the lower grades, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grades. You're currently sitting right here in the bottom corner where it says junior high gym. In the junior high, there are 2 stories. On the bottom floor are a lot of the elective classes, and on the top floor are a lot of the core classes that the students will be taking. There are stairs right outside this door, as well as on this corner to get up to the 2nd floor. Students do attend, all students go to lunch, where it says at the top where it says multi-purpose lunchroom. They eat their lunch there, or they can eat where it says elementary gym. It is served in the elementary gym, and students have that capability. Let's talk about a typical day here at Lincoln Academy so you can know what your students will be doing. A typical elementary day is in the mornings from 8 to 10. There's a lot of language arts instruction is happening. From 10 to 11, students will be going to math, and we'll be learning a little bit more about that. From sometime between 11 and 12, there's a half an hour lunch. Lower grades start at 11, working up to upper grades starting at about 11:40. All of our students go to recess for 10 minutes before going to lunch. We find that students are able to concentrate a little better in classrooms. They actually bring home empty lunch boxes. They eat their fruits and vegetables because they're a little bit captive audience sitting in front of it in the lunchroom. Students also have recess in the morning, before lunch, and in the afternoon. Sometime throughout that day, sometime throughout that week, they'll have 1 art class for an hour, 2 half-an-hour music classes, 2 half-an-hour PE classes, 2 half-an-hour computer classes, 1 library class, as well as some mastery time in elementary. And mastery time is a time where our grade levels are working, our teachers are working together to identify students that need extra help or have already met the standard and are able to need a little bit of extension. And so during these 2 half-an-hour periods, we have students will be combined across grade levels on times. Sometimes they'll be within their own classroom. And then we have Title I aides who come in and help provide extra support with that teacher and that aide. So often, we're going to have up to 10, 11 individuals helping that grade level at that time. Junior high, we run our junior high on an A-B schedule, so they'll have one set of 4 classes on one day, and then another 4 classes on the second day. Typical schedule, on Mondays and Fridays, we have 1st and 2nd period. After 2nd period is a homeroom setting on Mondays and Fridays. On Mondays, all your students are going to be assigned to a homeroom where there'll be about 18 or 19 students in it. And the student has a homeroom advisor. They're going to meet with that student and see where they're at academically and help them make a plan for the rest of the week, how to become a little bit better. On Fridays, we often have a character education lesson, or we'll have a house competition in here, or we'll have our Go TV broadcast that our students create and share once a month. They go to 3rd period, then we'll go to lunch, and then 4th period. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we go to first, second, and third period, and there's an IXL period. IXL is a time where students are able to go and get help. So if you miss a test, you can go and spend time in that teacher's classroom and make up that test. If you didn't understand the concept, you can spend time with that teacher and help them understand that concept a little bit better. There's also times where we recognize as educators that sometimes students don't want to come to see us, and so we assign them to come and spend time with us during IXL so that they get that opportunity to learn that material. So that's what happens on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The big question, carpool. As a new parent, as a new family, how does that work? And I should say, you don't need to take note. All of this that I'm showing with you is on our website, and I'll show you where that is, where you can find that. We also have a video on our website to help you. In the morning, as you enter, you'll enter the property from this corner, similar to where we're just similar to these doors. Depending if you're from which way you're coming from. If you're approaching the school from the east, you'll make a right-hand turn. If you're approaching the school from the west, you will make a left-hand turn. Left-hand turn is represented in purple cars. The right-hand turn is represented in the red cars. Students can be dropped off as soon as your car is next to the building. If you're in the red-hand lane, it starts right where the yellow drop-off area starts. And when you're next to that building, you can release students as soon as you get to the car that stopped in front of you. You'll release them. We'll have aides that will show them where to go. Junior high students come into the building. Elementary students go to the elementary gym to be able to meet their teachers. First day, they just can go to their elementary classroom, and then we'll show them where that is and how to make that happen. So you can tell them they can just go meet their teachers on the first day. If you are in purple, you'll make a left-hand turn and you'll go towards the back of the building. At the back, you can drop them off in the back of the building, and there are 2 doors back there that aides will direct them to, and you can have them enter the building in that area. In the afternoons, we will have students picked up depending upon where you live. And so if you live in, sorry, you have to correct me. If you live in Cedar Hills, American Fork, if you live in Cedar Hills, Linden, Orem, Provo, Pleasant Grove, Cedar Hills, or Vineyard, you pick students up in the front, which is represented by the red car. We ask that you approach the school coming from the west, coming from the east, moving to the west, so you can make an immediate right-hand turn. As you enter the school, there will be an aide there that will take a carpool number from you. We have carpool stickers for you tonight to place in your car that are assigned to your family. And so they will ask for that number. They will enter that number, which will cue our computer program to release your student out of this gym. They'll be in this gym, and then they'll come and meet you right in front of the school. And so you just have to let them know your number. If you are carpooling and you have other families, you also need to just ask them what their number is. In a couple of weeks, once carpool is established, we'll provide a way for you to link those numbers together so you only have to know one of those numbers. If you're in the back of the school, if you live in Lehigh, American Fork, Eagle Mountain, Highland, Alpine, or Saratoga Springs, you go to the back of the school, which is represented by the purple cars. If you'll double stack on the way back, doesn't matter which line, we basically just switch. Every other car is able to proceed towards the back. You will also give people your number. Your students are going to be waiting in the elementary gym, and once we input that number into our system, those students will be released. If you would like maps, those maps are located here. You can take a hard copy. They're also located online with a video which describes how to follow the procedure depending on where you enter the building, or enter the parking lot. The main advice I would give you is once you get in line, there's lots of people that are going to show you where to go. And so I wouldn't worry a whole bunch. And we'll have people that will be there to tell you if you're in the wrong lane in the afternoon, if you give us the wrong number. Basically, we'll know by which number you have where you're supposed to be. As a reminder, tomorrow morning we have a new student orientation for all 7th graders and then any new junior high students. There's also tomorrow, for all of our elementary students, there is a chance for you to meet their teacher as well as do some testing. The testing is a Dibbles test, which is a reading test. Should take about 7 to 10 minutes, and then we'll have about 5 minutes to meet with your teachers. So if you haven't signed up for that yet, it's something we can get a code for you and we can help you sign up. That's happening tomorrow. Junior high fees and schedules. If you haven't paid your fees yet or picked up a schedule, that can be done over here at this table. The fees are dependent upon the class the students sign up for, which is mainly their elective classes. Some classes like art, we'll be bringing home materials. Some classes like foods, they'll be consuming some materials. So those are some classes that require some fees. I want to introduce my two vice principals. We're going to talk a little bit tonight about discipline and dress code. So we have Mrs. Merrill, who's our vice principal primarily over the elementary, and Mr. Aylen, primarily over the junior high. We'll start with Mrs. Merrill.
I'm going to use this mic. Okay. Nope.
Okay, here we go. My name is Mrs. Merrill, and I help with the whole school, but my main focus is in the elementary. And when it comes to discipline, I would say that my method of discipline when kids make mistakes is to help them make a better mistake or a better choice next time. We don't want the mistake repeating and repeating and repeating. It isn't about telling kids, you're in trouble, you made a bad choice. It's an opportunity for them to talk with me, and sometimes you'll get a phone call and we'll talk to you together about just a bad decision that was made. I believe that when students come into my office, my main goal is to help them be more accountable for the choices that they're making. And moving forward, the next decision is really the focus of that meeting that we have together. As far as dress code goes, there is a video online that you can watch. If you have any questions about whether something with your student is acceptable with the dress code, you can always bring it in, or even, send a picture in to see if that would go with dress code. We don't want you to go out and buy things that are against dress code. At any time, if you have a question about how your child is doing, both academically, with behavior, with anything that has to do with their time here at Lincoln Academy, my door is open, and I'd be happy to sit down and discuss any questions that you might have. But again, my biggest thought when it comes to discipline is that the focus not be on the decision that was already made, although we do talk about that, but the focus is on the decision that they will make next time. So we want everybody to have a good experience, a great experience here at Lincoln Academy, even if they happen to do something that's wrong. And so that's my philosophy on discipline. And again, if you have questions about dress code, you can email me, last name Merrill, at lincoln-academy.org, and be happy to address that with you.
Good evening, I'm Mr. Aylen. So I work primarily with our junior high students if it comes to dress code and discipline. We will, if there are issues there, we will let you know. We'll be in contact, we'll work through it. Really, as we've gone through a lot of this stuff, I really believe that they learn a lot of academics, but they also learn a lot about behavior, about how to treat each other right. One of the great things about our junior high is it's much smaller than all of the other junior highs around here, as many of you know. Because of that, we get to know our students really well, and they get to know each other really well. So one of our biggest philosophies is to make sure that they feel safe, that they have good friends, that they're treating each other right. And so I work a lot with them. I also oversee some of our special programs. So if your student has an IEP, which is special education, if your student has a 504 or is an English language learner, I oversee that, and I work with a lot of our teachers there. So as you are going around tonight, if you do have any questions about that, I'd be happy to chat with you. and give you some more advice and input on what our program looks like here at Lincoln. So thank you. We're excited to have all of you here.
A couple of final thoughts. If you ever need any help, that's what we're here for, and we're happy to help you anytime. One thing that we would ask is that you would contact the front office and arrange an appointment. Oftentimes throughout the day, we make it a priority to be in your student's classroom to see what's going on, to be in the halls as there's transitions. Sometimes we're hard to find. The best way to get a hold of us is either to send us an email directly or to just stop by the front office and say, hey, I'd like to meet with Mr. Hunt or Mrs. Merrill or Mr. Aylen. Could I set up an appointment to do so? And we're happy to do that. We have just a quick announcement from a board member this evening we wanted to share. A little about some opportunities. One opportunity we wanted to point out with our drama department. This is Sarah Jagan. She's over our drama department here at the school.
Good evening. Oh, God, it's recording. When you guys are done in here, I just have a little booth, but I am the board member over our musicals, and both our junior high and our elementary have opportunities. So I'm going to leave it at that, kind of like a little hook, line, and sinker, and just come over and see me, and I'll give you more information. But we'd love all of you to be involved. Our drama teacher is not here tonight because she's busily helping out in our community, directing other things. But I am here to answer any questions. So again, I'll be right over there, okay?
And then if you need any more information, if you'll check out our website under Parent Resources, that's where the carpool information is located. There's also a link to the school lunch menu. One thing we didn't mention is you can pay for school lunches online, or you can pay for them by taking money to the school lunch director in the kitchen. As a reminder, before you leave tonight, if you'll please pick up a carpool sticker. We want to give those carpool stickers to adults, not necessarily give them to children to bring home because we think they may possibly get lost from past experience. We also have some paperwork here. We have Charmin Grimmer as well as Samantha Lee, who are two other board members if you would like to come and visit the school, if you'll visit them, they'll set you up with a student council member who can help you go through the school, identify classrooms, and find anything you may need. Pretty much that is the end of our formal presentation here. Mrs. Merrill, Mr. Aylen, and I will be here to answer any questions, as well as our front office staff is over here. If you have any questions, please feel free to come and find us. Overall, we're just super excited to have you here at Lincoln Academy, and hope that this is a wonderful experience for you and your children here. Thank you for being here this evening.